Hey, this is Wileen Benson, and you are on the Daily Gratitude Call, where we start every day in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest energy state that we can be in. It creates a frequency of positive vibration that attracts positive experiences into our lives. Hey everybody, this is Wileen Benson. This is our Daily Gratitude Call. Thank you for being on our call live today, and also those who are listening to the podcast. I'm just super grateful that we have this place to come every morning, and especially right now where there's a little bit of uncertainty in the world. It's a place that we can come, that we can depend on, that is a place that we can just kind of take us back to that center of gratitude every day as we meet the day, as we greet the day, as we go forward with whatever it is that, whatever challenges that we're going to be faced with. Today, I felt like that progressing was important for us to focus on our progression. But I asked one of our live participants to give me a little bit more specific of how to progress. And he mentioned the word persistence. And I felt like that was really appropriate for where we're at right now. For whatever reason, that just feels really appropriate and perfect. So we're going to focus today on gratitude for progressing with persistence. And I'm going to set the timer for 90 seconds. We're going to have a private silent meditation and just write down whatever personal inspiration you're receiving on this subject of gratitude for progressing with persistence. And we'll see what comes up. So 90-second private silent meditation, writing down whatever comes to you on gratitude for progressing with persistence. Begin. All right. I feel like the key word is progressing, that we might feel like our persistence is just a snail's pace, or it's like not contributing that much, but every day just continuing to move forward and noticing who I am becoming in the process. My inspired shortcut for the last few days has been to plant some seeds, and they're still sitting on my kitchen table. They have not been planted yet. I've made some progress with creating a plan on paper and knowing what needs to be planted first and things like that, but I haven't actually planted the seeds. And again, that was very strongly came to me as my inspired shortcuts to plant these seeds. I don't feel like planting the seeds is for me to reap a wonderful harvest in the fall, which hopefully will be the byproduct of planting these seeds. But I really know in my heart that there is something to be learned from this process of planting the seeds and tending them, taking good care of them, nurturing them throughout this growing season, and then receiving that harvest at the end. There's something that I get to learn from that. And the thought that came to me is, heal my own land, start with me. It's like I could, because I want to go out and heal the whole world. I want to share the Lord's way to wealth with the whole world and help them understand that the things that are happening right now have nothing to do with them. They're not affected by them if they're on the Lord's way to wealth. I want to go teach the whole world to turn to God. But over and over, I'm being, drawn to my own land, to my own heart, to my own family, to my own self, starting with me. And so that's what I need to do. Who else has something that they would like to share?
I'd like to share.
Okay. Thanks, Phil.
A couple of weeks ago, I created a video on like this horse ride I went on, where I rode this horse and it wasn't really familiar with the trail. Mm-hmm. It really hadn't been far away from home, and we got to this stream, and my horse did not want to go in the stream. It just wanted to turn back and go down the trail. And the guide that I was with, he was like, don't you let it do that. Don't you, he was coaching me, he said, you turn that horse back toward the river and you keep facing it toward the river and you keep nudging it and you tell it where you want to go and you don't let it go back. And then, I took it toward the river and it kept turning, and it just wanted to go back home, but all the other horses around the other side of the river, and I just kept facing it, and pretty soon it took a step in, and then it put all its feet in, and then it was, once it got in there, then no problem, it just went right through the river. And I just thought, how much is that like me? I'm faced with something that's new, and it really seems scary sometimes. And but I just have to keep facing it. I have to keep turning toward it, and eventually I'll jump into the river, and the funny thing is that on the way back, my horse went right into the river, and in fact started like pawing at the water and started wanting to play in the water, and I had to make it get out. And well, how much is that like me again? Because once I've done something, then how much easier is it for me now to go back and do it again? And wow. So that was my thought.
Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that, because that river was a fear that wasn't founded. There was nothing fearful about walking through that stream, but because it was unfamiliar, it felt fearful. And then when the horse was coming back, it sounds like there was a completely different energy. It's like, all right, we get to go in the river again. So that's definitely like life. Thank you. Who else has something they'd like to share?
I'll share.
I just wanted to.
Tammy.
Go ahead, Tyree.
Okay, Tyree and then Tammy.
I just wanted to say how good God is. I just, yesterday, I was just like, why do I feel like I'm in this, Joseph Smith, before he received the first vision and he saw God the Father and Jesus Christ, he said that he felt like he was in this war of words and everyone's vying for your attention. And I was thinking about that yesterday, and I feel like that. And I feel like, I'm focusing on the wind and the waves instead of on Christ, like Peter. And I don't feel like I'm really going where I'm supposed to go. And so I just said a prayer last night, and then this is the focus today. And I just think that you are inspired, and and God is good.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, Tyree. I agree. Tammy.
The thoughts that came to me were, how can I expect to be refined and become as God if I don't cultivate persistence? If I'm to throw in the towel partway through, that's allowing doubt and fear to get the better of me, and I don't become, if I don't cultivate that persistence, if I don't hold the vision of whatever it is that I'm working towards, and it's all part of becoming. And I'm so grateful for all of the countless resources that God provides daily to help me cultivate persistence.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. I love that word, cultivate. That fits right in with my thoughts this morning too. Thank you. Who else?
I'll share quick.
Okay. Thanks, Kathy.
Progressively, persistently making better choices, weighing in on all of the possible options and choosing growth. That was kind of what I wrote in the meditation. But just really thinking about the other things that have been shared have really caused me a bit of reflection. And I think sometimes we have to stop and look back over our life just a little bit to see that we really have come a long way, and our progress is, we're on a perfect path.
Well, beautiful. Thank you. That added some new thoughts to my thoughts this morning about planting those seeds. If I'm to grow, if I'm to continue growing, I have to plant new seeds. I could get super comfortable. I've been in like content creation mode since January 1. This year has been just like a constant daily content creation. And I finished 2 programs, and I'm actually starting a third now. Building Your Living Legacy is the third program that I'm starting. And it could be, and I'm feeling like this is, when this third program is done, then it's done. It's complete. My business, I have like this solid system, to take people through to be able to discover and live and work in their purpose and create a living legacy that will continue on beyond, their lives. And I'm looking forward to when that is done. But I'm feeling today that there's never going to be an end. There's always going to be growth, and I have to constantly be planting new seeds and stepping into unknown territory to be able to continue to grow. Thank you. Any last thoughts before we shift over to our permission process?
I'd like to share.
Okay, thanks, Melissa.
So I was just thinking about progression and mood, how they kind of go together, because, we get to pick our thoughts, and we get to decide, how we feel about things. But, we go through these high and low vibration times. Like I just feel really happy today. I just have a very happy outlook on life. And it's like, progression, this is great. I'm excited for it, and I'm enthusiastic about it. But then other times, my mood is just really low vibration, and it's hard, and I have to like work at it and build the momentum. And so I just kind of was thinking about how we do have a choice. We do have a say in how we feel, but there is a rhythm to our emotions and our feelings and our energy. And so it's kind of like going in between that, the high and lows of progression.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah. And there are different things that get accomplished in those different moods and in that rhythm, really super highs. There's this celebration, gratitude, lots of really awesome feelings. And then when we're in the lows, that's a lot of times when we turn to God, we start asking what's next, how can I get out of this, mess, whatever it is. And so there's definitely a rhythm that happens. That's all good. Thank you. I think there was one other person that wanted to share.
Yeah, can I share one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead, Phil.
What keeps coming to my mind are the two great motivators, fear and love. And the fear, that's what happens if I don't, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's love, and that is what happens if I do.
Mm-hmm.
And love is motivated by faith, and it's motivated by our spirit, and fear is that physical part of us. And so as I look towards something, how do I feel about that thing? Do I move toward it with faith, or do I move toward it, or am I just afraid if I don't move toward it that something's going to happen? So that's kind of what's on my
mind. Good. Yeah, thank you. It's good to kind of check in and see how we are progressing. What's the motivator for our progression, our persistence? Thank you. Any last thoughts? There was someone else. Okay, let's go ahead and shift over to our permission process. Thank you for everyone who has shared. This has really created some good insight for me as I'm moving forward in my progression. So I appreciate that. Take a deep breath and just allow yourself to be in a very vulnerable, open space of learning. Just showing up right now as a student, not claiming to know anything, just going to God with complete openness and being able to, just being willing to learn. One more deep breath. And I invite us to bring to this meditation, almost like even envision yourself holding out the persistence that you have given, the amount of persistence that you have given in the past. Just maybe gather that up and hold it out, almost like placing that on the altar as an offering to God. And to be open to learn what's next. And that, we've put on the altar this persistence that we have had in the past. And just asking the question, kind of checking inside, is it enough? And also bringing Christ into the equation, that he makes up the difference after all that we can do. And being very, just really gut level honest with yourself. Has my persistence been all that I can do? Is it enough? And if you're feeling like you have maybe come a little bit short of what you actually are capable of, your part, what's the limiting belief that has held you back from giving your all, from being 100% totally persistent, progressing with everything that you have to give? What's the limiting belief that would hold you back from being all that you could be, from giving your part fully? And also examining the cost of that limiting belief. If you hold on to that limiting belief and you hold back from giving your all, what is the cost? What's the outcome? And if you don't like that, you have the choice right now. You can choose to let go of that limiting belief, and you can choose some new beliefs that will empower you, that will allow you to step up fully, to be able to give everything that you have, to be 100% persistent, giving all that you have so that Christ can make up the difference. What are your new beliefs that will empower you to give your all, to be 100% persistent, be able to offer that and allow Christ to make up the difference. And with this list of new beliefs, I invite you to use those new beliefs, gather them up, place those on the altar. This is your commitment. This is who you are choosing to show up as today. And invite God to bless your persistence and for Christ to make up the difference so that whatever you put in is enough. And that it will allow you to progress and it will allow you to produce whatever it is that you need. Just write down any of the thoughts that are coming to you as you're placing those new beliefs on the altar. And right now, within your own heart, mind, spirit, that you are creating that strength, that determination, that feeling of persistence, that you know you are going to be honest and honorable in your persistence from this point forward. And with this new commitment, this new feeling of persistence that you're feeling inside of you, what is the most important thing that you could do today that will really anchor in this feeling of persistence and help you see, give you tangible evidence that what you offer is enough and that Christ makes up the difference? What is your inspired shortcut today to be 100% persistent and to allow Christ to make up the difference? In a moment, I'm going to open it up for some shares. I want to just invite any of you who are feeling like you need just that extra little boost to get through whatever it is that you've been persistently trying to get through, but maybe yours, what you've been giving just felt like it hasn't been enough. If you need a little bit of extra help, if you need a different perspective, please reach out to me, schedule a 15-minute call. And you do that by going to askwylene.com, and that takes you directly to my calendar, and you can schedule a 15-minute mentoring session. It's free, and I promise you 15 minutes is all we need. It's an awesome opportunity to just get some clarity and move forward. askwylene.com, that takes you directly to my calendar. Who has something that they would like to share about their experience today?
Hello, this is Gary.
Hey, Gary. Thank you.
Yeah, I found that on my morning routine, and I wasn't feeling good because I felt like I was not getting a lot accomplished. I was getting small stuff, but not hitting my goal. I found out that small little wins make you feel great. So what I started to do is read about some of my passion, which is health. And I find when I read 20 minutes every day, it just makes me feel incredible. I feel like, oh my God, I got something accomplished on top of all the things I have to do. So small wins. That was my aha today.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you. Appreciate you sharing that. Who else?
I just wanted to share that I just realized it came together more clearly in my head, that fear, that laziness is, the way we think of laziness is just someone not wanting to work. But I don't think that anyone naturally doesn't want to be productive and work hard. I think laziness is a product of limiting beliefs that we haven't addressed. And I think that, again, going back to fear and faith, it's living in that fear, and so we just give into the fear, and so we give into the laziness. But really, when we turn with faith and focus on Christ, we are given that strength to overcome those limiting beliefs and to progress and be persistent.
Beautiful. Thank you. I just totally felt the shift from fear to faith and to love when you said, bringing, like, turning to Christ. If we're moving forward and progressing with Christ kind of as our example, as our, holding on to his love, then our motivation, we will be motivated by love and be able to move past some of those feelings of laziness. Thank you. Who else has something?
Sure.
Kathy?
Yes, thank you. What's my inspired step for this day, my birthday? It really came to me to celebrate with gratitude for the years I've been given, for the
Beautiful.
lives I've touched, for the progress I've made, for the choices and options I have made, and for those ahead of me.
Wow, beautiful. And how perfect for you to have this gratitude call today on your birthday, progressing with persistence. Every birthday is sort of like a milestone. It's like one more year. And for you to be starting out this brand new year with just anticipating that, celebrating and anticipating your progression this year. Thank you.
Every opportunity to make better choices, right?
Yes. Love it. There's going to be lots of opportunities to do that. Any last thoughts before we end our call today? I feel like there's one more.
I'll share.
Thanks, Tammy.
So, my shortcut today is to be still and know. And I know that within each of us, there is an inner knowing of who we truly are and who our Father in heaven is in our relationship to him. And just feeling very strongly the need to focus solely on that and be completely confident in that knowledge.
Well, beautiful. Thank you. I just had a call yesterday with one of my private clients that's in the Building Your Living Legacy program. And we had that conversation about how powerful it is when you know who you are. Anything can happen. Anybody can come and, try to make you think that you're somebody else. Ask that question: who do you think you are? Who do you think you are, trying to be, strong, powerful, make a difference, whatever. If you know who you are, none of that will affect you at all. Jesus Christ himself, when he was on the earth, he was constantly, that was constantly the reason why people would, that was the way that they tried to diminish his power, was to say, who do you think you are, healing on the Sabbath? Who do you think you are, forgiving sins? And they constantly tried to discredit him by saying he was not he wasn't who he said he was. But the fact is that he was who he said he was. And so none of that had any effect on him. And we can follow through with that example by being completely clear on who we are. And that is definitely going to give us the power and the confidence to continue moving forward with persistence, progressing with persistence, in love for ourselves, love for our purpose, knowing who we are and knowing how we, what our mission and purpose is, and our connection with God, and what we've been, what we've covenanted to do while we're here on this earth, and the people that we get to serve.
Wileen, I just really need to end with this today. It's from the Living Christ, and it came in a birthday gift from our Relief Society, and we were encouraged to memorize it. But the part that just really keeps coming up for me is just exactly what you've been saying, and what Tammy said as well. In the Living Christ, there's the part in it. He taught the truths of eternity, the reality of our premortal existence, the purpose of our life on earth, and the potential for the sons and daughters of God in the life to come. And so that's my favorite part.
Beautiful. Thank you, Kathy. That totally anchors in that idea of knowing who we are. Would you, Kathy, because I know everybody doesn't have access to that document, The Living Christ, would you mind posting that in the Facebook group, the Breakthrough with Gratitude Facebook group? I would really appreciate that.
I will do that.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for all of your shares today. It's really helped me to gain more confidence and courage in following through with my Inspired Shortcuts today. And just appreciate being able to be here together with you every morning. So we'll look forward to being back together tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Mountain Time. Thank you all for being here. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. And I encourage you to tune in every day to the Daily Gratitude Call. And the Daily Gratitude Call happens live every weekday morning. Would love to have you join. So to find out how to join live, go to my website, WileenBenson.com. Thanks for tuning in.